Joining us now is Christina Greer, Moynihan Fellow at City College in New York, and jury consultant Alan Turkheimer. Thank you both for taking the time with us. Christina, you have studied Trump's public image from the Central Park 5 days back in 1989 and his involvement in sort of that whole scandal to his days on The Apprentice. Do you think it's possible to seat a fair and impartial New York City jury?
I do have faith in New Yorkers in that those who can say that they'll be impartial. I mean, obviously, the lawyers on both sides will go through painstaking processes to sort of whittle that down to make sure that's the case. They're going to want to know things like, what kind of podcasts you listen to. The larger question is Donald Trump has been in the New York imagination for so long, but many New Yorkers know that, his name is on the buildings, but he doesn't own the buildings. Many remember him from the days of the lifestyles of the rich and famous and his multiple wives, but they know that he's definitely changed from being sort of this icon in much of music and in hip hop music to someone who has tried to divide this country in racialized and racist ways. So it is going to be difficult, but I do think it's possible. We've got, the beauty of New York is that it's a changing organism. So there are many New Yorkers who are in the city now who weren't here in the 80s and 90s, actually, who don't have the same attachment to Donald Trump. Say maybe some older New Yorkers.
That's such a good point. I'm one of them, a newbie to New York, relatively speaking. Moved here in 2017. As we were just hearing from Yasmin and Vaughn's reporting today, it seems like people are very quick to say, I can't be fair and impartial. We know yesterday, day one, more than 50 of that first 96 potential juror group said they could not be impartial. Alan, can you put that number into perspective for us? How does that compare to cases with other high-profile defendants? And is there anything this court can do to try to counter a history and a reputation as prolific as Trump's here in New York City?
Well, certainly so many people in New York City know him. It's hard to think of a case where there was a high-profile criminal defendant where the venue consists of people that know him over 40, 50 years. And as you're reporting, a lot of those perceptions are negative. It's the Central Park 5. A lot of people think that all these buildings have been gaudy and he's represented excess in the 80s. And they followed a lot of people think that he's a slumlord from Queens. I mean, there's many characterizations, but if you think about it, the numbers is how you combat that. Now, if you have hundreds of jurors coming in, it's going to be narrowed down, and sure, you're going to have some that say, well, I can't be fair and impartial, and then they get to the courtroom, they're standing 20 feet from Donald Trump, and they'll say the same thing. So the process does have safeguards built into place, and each side, there's an unlimited number of cause strikes each side can use, and then each side has 10 peremptories to use to get rid of jurors. So at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a long process, but a fair and impartial jury will be seated in this case.
Are you surprised at all by how quickly people are taking themselves out?
I don't think so. I think that, and criminal defendants all across the country are not likable. This is not the first time there's been a criminal defendant where the perceptions are not positive. That's nothing unusual. And jurors are good at compartmentalizing. So I believe that these jurors who get through the process, barring an occasional stealth juror, somebody trying to get on, I think they're going to be fair. Manhattanites are pretty candid, and so they're going to express what they're feeling about Donald Trump. And so I think it's going to work out in the end. And I do think that at the end of the day, it's going to take a week or two. The fair and impartial jury will be seated, and they'll be open-minded.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.